Welcome to the Spelling Netcast. So, make sure that you have your pencil ready. May not have dinosaurs like mine does, but make sure you have a pencil. Make sure you got your glue. Make sure you have your scissors, nice round tip. Your spelling zip top bag so that you can put your words in. Can you see them? Nope, there's nothing in there yet. And, of course, you need your spelling book and your spelling words. All right, so let's get to our spelling words. Let's get them cut out. Now, looks like, as I go through these words, looks like we're doing some suffixes. I think that's pretty interesting. It seems like we've done quite a few suffixes. And depending on which suffixes you've done, I think a lot of them change the meanings, but not only the meanings, but they change the kind of words they are. So if we do if it's a noun, then it will change it to kind of an adjective. And, we got to do one thing here first, because I started to cut it up. But what I like to do here is cut this straight across. So we keep all three of these on so we can write that above it. Then I cut these into places like this. And then it makes it easier for me to cut these out. Now make sure that when you cut these out, you cut them out. Don't just leave them on and think, oh, well, I'll just write down what words Mr. Anderson's got here. No, what I really want you to do is to cut them out and sort them with me. Sort them with me. All right, so spread them out a little bit. Get them all over the place. That way you can see all the words everywhere you need to see them, so that when I say the word, then you've already got them all out so you can find the word that I'm talking about. And remember, as I say the word, I want you to say the word. That will help you know what that word sounds like, and when you hear it again, you'll know what to say. All right. Or when you read it in a book, because being a good speller will actually help you be a better reader also. And it'll help you know what these words mean. And that's what we're trying to do. It's a two things we're trying to do for you. Better spellers and better readers, so that you know what these words are meaning. All right? So it looks like we're doing adjective suffixes. So let's put a little zip on this and put this on the top of our page. All right? Good. Now let's close that and let's start writing our things up here. Now remember, I like to leave a couple lines here. That way we can do some writing above what we're doing. So write these nice and neat. We're going to do F-U-L. And what you need to be careful with on this is whenever the F-U-L is at the very end or as a suffix of a word, sometimes you might get mixed up and put two L's. No. Just one L when it's used as a suffix. Okay, then we got dash O-U-S, os. And then we got an ious. This is an interesting one. We'll have to talk about that, won't we? But I guess we talk about each one of these. So let's cut these out now. And if you already have this done, fantastic. But I still want you to make sure that these are cut out and put into your zipped up bag. Put them on your refrigerator or somewhere that you can get them tomorrow. So that when you do your sorts at home, you can make sure you get these done. All right, so let's look at what we've got here. We've got F-U-L, O-U-S, and I-O-U-S. And what these three suffixes do they actually all mean the same thing. They mean full of, and that's kind of where we think of it's full of something, so this should be F-U-L-L, double L, but it's not, so don't make that mistake. Or it's either full of or having the qualities of. Okay, so you've got two different things here. You've got full of or having the qualities of. Make sure you're writing these down. I want you to have this written down on your paper so I can see that you've done that. So you know what we're talking about here. Because we're changing nouns to adjectives. Adjectives. We're changing nouns to adjectives. And what is an adjective? You should know what an adjective is, because we've kind of gone over it a little bit before. And so an adjective is a word that is added to a noun to modify it. So when we're looking at these suffixes, let's talk about the noun and then how it modifies or describes a noun. So let's go into FUL and let's chart out with these big ones right here. Delightful. Delightful. FUL, make sure only one L. Full is full of delight. So as students, you are really very delightful. And so the student is the noun. And so delight is a noun because it's an idea, but when you are delightful, you're describing or modifying the noun, which is the student. Students are delightful, so that's what we're talking about. All right, then let's do another FUL. Successful. Successful. FUL, one L. This is what we want you to be. So students are delightful and we want you to be successful. So that is describing the students in our grades, is being successful, because we like that. We like successful. Oh, and let's do one more. One more. Ooh, this one's a tough one, because sometimes homework can be stressful. Stressful. But what you got to remember is when we're doing our homework, it's the stress is actually the noun, but we're describing students again, or homework. Homework is actually the noun that we're describing is stressful. But remember, homework shouldn't be stressful. You just need to make sure you do it in a timely manner. That will help you to keep it from being stressful. So let's do the OUS. So we're still with full of. So let's look at dangerous. 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 Full of danger. That's kind of what you thought of Mr. Anderson and the other teachers when you came into our grade is, are you dangerous? No, we're not that dangerous. We're kind of like little puppies. Well, not really puppies, but you know, all right. And so maybe you were nervous. Nervous. Now, this is an interesting one because nerve, N-E-R-V-E, is actually the noun that we're talking about. And so when we look at nervous, it's tending to be nervous or nerves, or feeling the nerves, relating to nerves. Isn't that interesting? Nerves. It's actually an adjective. Nerve is, a feeling. It's a sense. And when you feel nervous, you're tending to be alarmed or anxious. And so nervous is what we are. So we're describing how the noun is feeling, all right? Let's look at, we talked about snakes a little while ago, and so we're going to do poisonous. Poison us. Poison us. Full of poison. So snakes, full of poison. Well, not really full of poison, but that's kind of what it's talking about. So let's go into ious, which is full of. And now this is an interesting one because what I want you to pay attention to is the ious, because when we look at this, it's doing a few different things. So let's look at furious, furious, ious. Fury is what? What is fury? Fury is actually wild and angry. So if there's fury, there's, violent or something like that. When you're furious, you're mad. Describing what you are. But you notice it's got the I in there. Fury is F-U-R-Y. We change the Y to an I and add O-U-S. So we're doing this again with the I-O-U-S. And so let's look at another one for or I-O-U-S. Let's look at this one right here. Glorious. Glory is G-L-O-R-Y. We change the Y to an I and do O-U-S. Glorious, which is full of glory. It's a glorious day when you have everything done and you feel good about it. Glorious, full of glory. I love it. And let's look. Oh, this one's kind of interesting. Rebellious. Rebel-ious. Now you'll notice rebel is one, R-E-B-E-L. That's rebel. We added another L, and then we added the I-O-U-S. So be careful on rebellious also, because we added an extra L there, because there was no Y at the end. So we need to watch out for that. Now nervous, we changed the E, or we took out the E to add the O-U-S. There's a couple other words I want you to pay attention to do that also. But we've got one special word here. It's called outrageous. Now, I have O-U-S here, but I've got outrage, and it's got an E at the end. Nerve, N-E-R-V, had an E, and we changed that to O-U-S. But on outrageous, we don't do that. So you've got to be careful of that E right there. So that is actually going to be an odd ball. Okay? And so we're doing outrageous. Write it small. Outrageous is an oddball because we don't take out the E. We leave it there, and then we add the O-U-S. Interesting. So be careful with this, but I also want you to look at this, because sometimes these words, when we add this suffix, F-U-L, we can actually do a double suffix. Ooh, double suffix. Because we could do that delightfully. If we add an L-Y to this, it would delightful. Then we'd add a L-Y again, so it delightfully. Two suffixes, 1, 2. Successfully, L-Y. Stressfully, L-Y. We could add over here nervousness of that person. Nervous, N-E-S-S. That would be a double suffix. Isn't that interesting? I don't know if poisonousness, that would be weird. Furiously, furious, L-Y, furiously, two suffixes. I just wanted you to see that we can add another suffix on some of these, and we can make them a double suffix, and that changes it even more. So what I need you to finish up is take all the rest of these words that I've got over here that you have not used, say them, and write them in underneath here. Don't just write them in because they're in here. Say them, write them, underline the suffix, pay attention to what it's trying to say, look at the ones that have the E that are gone, the Y changed to the I, and pay attention to these things because it's going to help you understand what we're talking about. And it'll help you be a better reader because you're going to know what those words are meaning. All right? Get your work done. We'll see you later.